Hello again, and welcome back to the Kotu Classic FPL podcast. Viewers, I'm your host, Bruce, aka Solomon, Mr. Chama. Nakamnak.
Boy, why you back, boy? No for them, eh?
Not too bad, man. Senta yada boy, Senta.
Big low.
Yeah, we're gonna jump right in. We are recording at 7:06 a.m. here on Tuesday, 26th in the US. Timestamp, Japan. You guys just crossed over, right?
Just crossover midnight. It's 6 past 12.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's crack on.
All right. Also going to be a relatively short pod because of time constraints, as always. We're going to jump right in and we'll discuss some of the results, like when we get to them. So first things first. How was your game week?
It was not great. I'm struggling to find a great game week again. Of late, but it was not terrible again. I think it was more of a middling arrow because I stay within the same 100k rank I 900k rank I was in prior to the game week. So considering how badly my players do, and then a lot of good players doing well again. My transfers did not work out. I ended up, going up with one of the transfers that I planned to do that we discussed last week, where I wanted to, do the double transfer of Son and Foden for Saka and Palmer. So I ended up doing the kind of in between, I would say, because I got Palmer, I did not get Saka. I got rid of Foden. I did not get rid of Son. Son did get an assist, 6 points against Manchester City. But Saka was the biggest scorer of the week with the 13 points, So yeah, I can just bring on my team.
Yeah, I guess you can start. You can start sharing your team and we can see how your game win actually went.
Yeah, this was my I got 54 points. It was a little bit above the average, so in that context it's not terrible. And of course I captained Salah, which ended up being going well. I saw him taking off his shirt, taking off 4 points off me with that celebration, and then he should have get a hat trick, but he missed a couple of big chances in the
hit
air.
The bar.
Hit the bar and stuff like that. Yeah, but in goal, I had Sanchez. Chelsea considered a last-minute penalty. I was like, if Sanchez just saved this penalty, that could be a difference between because if he saved the penalty, that would have been because they were on a clean sheet by that point. They were in 90th minute. So if he saved that penalty, that would have been massive. It would have been a great turnover. But instead, he ended up with 1 point because the penalty went in and he had a yellow card earlier. And it did not just affect him because Palmer was playing as well. So it took 1 point of Palmer. So I don't even overlook these little 1 points. So that Chelsea penalty conceded in the last minute was not something that I enjoyed too much. In defense, I had Digne, Lewis at City, and Vandenberg. Vandenberg was the savior in defense. I have stuck with him for a while now, and I've trusted him in games despite Brentford not keeping too much clean. I think this was their first clean sheet this season, so I kind of enjoyed that one to get a 6 point from your 4 million defender. I think that's a good thing. A big bench of Pedro Porro. I was never gonna start Pedro Porro against Manchester City. We all were looking forward to a Manchester City thumping Tottenham, so there was no thought of me starting Pedro Porro. So 14 points on my bench. I just accept that one. In midfield, like I say, Son, I stick with Son. I brought in Palmer. He ended up with 2 points. Memo, when he plays away from home, I kind of feel that he will not do anything. I just have to start him because he's in my team. But when he plays at home, it's a completely different story. So he has not blanked at home so far this season. But away from home, I think he only got 1 return away from home. And as someone who is a firm believer of home and away, that thing, I kind of know that when he plays away from home, I'm not expecting much from him. Salah, 26 points, like I said earlier. Solanke too, I stuck with him because I did not have any option to play other players. and they were playing City. So I just kept him in there, and then he came out with an assist, 5 points. I would take that. Raul Jimenez and then Welbeck with 2 points each. So I've already made my early moves. So we will discuss that when we get into the preview section. Yeah, that was my team. Not great. I dropped, like I say, a little bit, but not major. How about you? How did you do?
Yeah, let me just pull up my team here. 68 points. I think it was a good game week. My only problem, like it's been like this for the past 4-5 game weeks now, if I'm not mistaken, where I captain Haaland, and then my captaincy choice is like, because of its Haaland, it's been terrible. Like you can see how well my team did. I think about batting 4 or 3 players, or let's say 5 players, like the rest all returned. So I had Flecken with 9 points. I think it's his first or second clean sheet, or I think first clean sheet of the season.
Yeah.
Varial with 0 points. Gabriel clean sheet. I had Nuri with 2 points. Saka I had with 13 points. Rogers with 2. Momo obviously with 3. Semenyo with the yellow card missing in the next game to 1 point. Cunha that I had 16 points. I think he's the highest scoring.
Cunha has come really good.
Yeah. Jackson, who most people don't have, 12 points. So you see, this is my issue right now. So I've made some transfer. I think I banked 1 transfer last week, so I made 3 transfers. So my team is looking good now because of Haaland is not there anymore. So you can guess who I brought in. But we'll talk about that later. So 68 points. It's funny. Salah is the only person that keeps tanking my rank. I was up to almost 1.2, almost close to the 1 million mark, and then Sunday happened, and then Salah, of course, destroyed my rank. So yeah, now from 2.9 up to 2.2, so not too bad, I guess. Yeah. So this is I think both of us have made changes. We'll talk about that moving forward. But for now, let's just go straight to the Kotu Classic Mini-league and try to see what do you call it again? The rank looks like. It's been a while since the last time we didn't really make any changes. Or
yeah.
So our manager up to week for this week is, let me share my page, my screen real quick. What is going on here? Okay, it's Bad FC. I don't know what's going on with this page, but yeah, let's do that. Did it help? Still the same. Okay, it's Bad FC with 93 points. As you can see, like if you get something as high as this, it really like helps your overall rank. That's much. Like we've been saying the whole season, the points gap are so close between ranks. So now 93 points got him, I don't know from where up to all the way to like 900 inside the 1 million. So his team: Flecken, Mazraoui, Mikolenko, Pedro Porro. So that's major. Like if you made the bet of playing him, you rewarded with 14 points. But like you said, the decision was there. There's no way with 2 of their central defenders injured, and you see play Pedro Porro. Yeah, I'm sure that was a risky move. Palmer, Mbomo, Saka, and then captain Salah, Solanke, Wood, and then Nicholas Jackson. If I had Salah in my team and I captained him, I probably would have had 100 plus points, maybe even close. Yeah, so that so this is because the team is not even that bad. It's even similar to mine, but I had Cunha and Jackson. So he had Solanke, and the only difference was he had Salah and he captained him. So that was that. So yeah. So congrats, Bad FC, for being the manager of the week. And looking at the top 5, some movements happened in the top 5 Kotu Classic Mini-league. In 5th is Stone Jones United. Staying in 4th is 300 Spartans, back at the Minte. Dropping to 3rd is City Boys, Keba Damfar. And moving to 2nd is Team Pogboom, Njaga Seka. And then moving to 1st is Nicky Top, Malik Sanyang. So there's been a juxtaposition of all these teams. But you can see some names are familiar. So at least they're in and around that, top 10, top 15, top 20. It's been competitive this season.
So, it is quite competitive, huh? But the
For a moment,
exciting
yeah.
period,
The
exciting
first day,
periods.
I got into the top 100 for I think all the way to 79, and then Salah happened, and then I went back out of the top 100. So
Very close,
I was
very close.
a bit
Yeah,
excited
keep
there for a
pushing.
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when I saw the Cunha goals, yeah, my mind went straight to you. Even Jackson. But
yeah.
I was thinking, did you really did you sell him? Because I know you have been thinking about
No,
getting rid of him
yeah,
for a while.
well, I think that was a while ago. But you remember, I
Yeah.
haven't spoken about Jackson. I just let him be because I saw the fixtures. I was planning to take him out, and when I saw the Chelsea fixtures, I was like, oh no. From now on, the fixtures just look too good to turn. And
Mhm.
that's why I had to bring Palmer in. But we'll talk about that later on. Yeah, the fixtures are just too good to just take him out, and he's doing well this season. We're not talking about it much. We're not giving him news props,
No,
but
no, he's
he's
finishing.
improved a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, he's improving in terms of finishing.
Hmm.
Definitely, definitely.
He improved a lot. Yeah, I really like, kudos to him
He,
for
yeah,
making those
he
changes.
don't need a lot of chances. I don't know what is his numbers. Let me see. Let me do that. Check it. Go ahead. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. Fan corner. Just quickly talk about the fan corner. I think right now Liverpool, you can't really talk much about it because you guys are doing well. There's not much you can give me. No
Mm-hmm.
struggles. When everything is going well, you don't have any negative thing to say about your club or any
No, no, well,
pointers
but
or any comments.
a little bit. But it is negative and positive. I would say last week there in the game because we did not play well against Southampton. But again, I always understand when we're coming back from the international break,
It's
when
difficult.
we
Yeah.
are not at our best.
Hmm.
But Liverpool's games this season have been relatively close. Most of the games, and that was close again. Southampton played, well, but they gifted us 3 goals in the end.
Yeah,
The
ahead of us
first
already.
goal, yeah, the first goal was an absolute gift. But again, it was depressing because Liverpool know they would want to play from the back and stuff. So they harass them and then force them to make some mistakes. And then the second one also, the goalkeeper made a terrible judgment of the ball. He was in no man's land, and then Salah finished that one. The third one, it was a penalty, a handball. This should not have happened. There crosses coming in the box. You should deal with that ball, and then he handled the ball. So yeah, they gifted us something, and then we took it. But the good thing is, the good thing I like about it is we did not play well and we won. These are the things that you want to do. You cannot be at your best every single time. So when you are not at your best, find a way to get the results, and that's what we did this weekend. So I was quite content with that, quite happy. And then some injured players are coming back. And also some players who covered for the injured players like Bradley played really well in Trent's position. So which further gives you the feeling that even if Trent is not available, Bradley will always do a great job. My biggest worry continue to be Robertson. Robertson is my biggest worry at the Liverpool team right now. He used to be very reliable for us, and we love him for that, for the energy that he brought. But to be honest, um, I don't feel any confidence now when I see him in the lineup, which is not good for it's not good for a fan. And when a player gets to that level, like when he's faced 1-on-1, you feel you are worried for him, you are worried for the team. And yeah, he costed us the second goal. It was the penalty. I will blame Van Dijk a little bit from that because he lose the ball in the middle and then they attack us from that counter, and then went direct with Robertson. Robertson caused the foul. It was very close. People were arguing if it was inside the box or if it was outside the box.
Oh,
I feel it was just on the line. And if a foul is on the line, it's usually a penalty. So just on the line though, I'm sure you will understand when fans say it's not in because the foul was for coming started from the outside and then it continuing. It was one of those calls there. So, but I accept it as a foul for me, as a penalty, because it was just on the line. If it was for Liverpool, I would be claiming it. So have to accept it. Yeah,
yeah. I
that's
mean,
it.
you guys have what's his name again? Robertson's Timikas. So why I thought
See,
we had this
he is
conversation
injured.
before.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
he's
injured.
injured.
He was injured. I did not see him in the squad,
Oh,
and I was like, "What happened?" Because in the second half, at halftime, I went to see the Liverpool squad and see who was on the bench, just to try to see where we are going to go in terms of changes and stuff like that. Because I was not feeling Robo. Like he made a couple of mistakes. There was another one he made. They almost scored from it. He just to clear the ball is becoming difficult for him. He is a great servant for Liverpool, and he continued to do his best, to be honest. But I just don't think he is the player that we used to have, and that is the sad
He's
that is the sad
declining.
thing.
He's declining because, like I think we mentioned this before another time on the pod, where he's one of those players that's very like dynamic, and he relies on his athleticism a lot, which is
Mhm.
coming up and down. And obviously, you reach that stage where your body cannot do that anymore. It's declining
Exactly,
like Kai
similar to
Walker.
Kai
It's
Walker.
the same thing,
Yeah,
right? It's the
exactly.
same that's been happening, So if you're those type of player, you cannot change your game because then
Mhm.
you have to rely on your anticipation of what the player is going to do. And in the fullback position, you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. Yeah.
You don't have a choice. It's one of those. It's just one of those positions where you have to be athletic to be able to catch up and move up and down.
Yeah,
It's just what it is. I'm
it
sure he
is.
can. If he had the height, he could have switched to probably centre back. You don't have too much
Exactly, a
running.
left-sided
That's
setup, but
easy.
he's so
Yeah, that's
short.
easy. He's
Exactly.
so short, so you don't have that for him. But yeah, I think it's time you guys invest in that position. I'm sure your coach didn't want to buy anybody, but now
Definitely.
it's like a position you guys need to fill if you want to be
Yeah,
compete.
it's a priority position. It's a priority
Yeah,
position. I think we are looking at some names. I heard them talk about Hato. I had them talk about Kerkes at Bournemouth. I
Kirkes is
had
good,
this
man.
name.
Like he's very.
Yeah,
We
so
we are also keeping an eye on him because we also have issues. Imagine a whole season, two of our centre back. I mean left backs got injured. Shaw and
mhm,
Malacia, and both of
mhm,
them just got back. Shaw played a few minutes in our game. Malacia is also back, but he hasn't played yet. I think,
mhm.
but he's played in all the 21s. So yeah, I think this I'll just segue into Manu. So
Yeah,
first
sure, sure.
first game under the new manager, and I
What's the
think
assessment?
all the excitement has gone out of the window now. Man, you fancy man, we are back. Oh, it was, I think it's good that we are now back to reality. We know what we have. Our
Mm-hmm.
squad is not good, and so now the manager also like I'm sure he's shocked. He cannot believe it. He cannot believe his eyes. But this is the reality of the situation. For
Mm-hmm.
some reason, like I feel like we made some progress, on Ten Hag buying good players, but it's like the team kind of got worse because before we
Mm-hmm.
had world class players, strike. I think maybe we took that for granted. If you ask me,
Yeah.
we had the Cavani's, the Ronaldos, the Pogbas. These are world class players, and there's 3 or 4 of them in the team that actually
Mm-hmm.
paper over the cracks. So you won't see the. But now we don't have those world class players in our team anymore. All of a sudden, it's like the team is just bad all around. But not bad per se, but like if you don't score goals, then what's the point? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Um but honestly, to be fair, the coach didn't have some of these players to work with. He
Yeah.
came in during the international break where most of these players were on international duties. The ones he
Mm-hmm.
had were the ones returning from injuries and the ones that don't actually start games. So he said he had two days training with the full squad, which is not enough to implement a whole new formation, to be honest. And
Yeah.
Ipswich is it's one of the best teams when it comes to the way they play. I think we spoke about this. They give you guys
Mm-hmm.
tough time in the first half when you guys play them. It's only the second half that they drop back and you guys implemented
Yeah.
your game plan. But so they're not like a team that you just go and with a bad team and just decide to just run them over. No, it doesn't work that way. But there are some positives. I think Ugarte came in and this kind of pressed, which is what he does best. We hopefully want to see him because he brings energy to that midfield. Um, Ahmad, obviously, not we don't want to see him at being back, obviously, but he should be at the 10 because he's one of our creative players and he did well. Onana also, man. If it wasn't for Onana, I think we would have lost the game.
Yeah,
So
definitely. I saw
going
the
blank
highlights. Yeah.
space. Like
This
when I was
is
watching the game, I was like, how did he even save that? I was like, what?
yeah, I saw a couple of
Oh
very, very
man.
good saves, to be honest.
Yeah.
I saw a couple very good.
We don't speak on him much because if he was making all these errors that he was making when he first came, especially the last season, we would all be over
Mhm.
him. Oh, he's terrible. He can't be our first keeper. But now all of a sudden he's becoming more reliable. So we don't talk about it anymore because he's saving us.
Mhm.
So it's like it's a normal
Which
thing.
is a
Okay,
good
it's
thing,
fine. But
right?
yeah, but we should give him his props. He did well. Like honestly, he's doing
Mhm.
what he's supposed to be doing as a man keeper because it's not easy. Um, Dallo was just surprising to me because he's been slightly being poor the past few, even before Eric Ten had left. He's been poor, but in this game he was really poor. I was like, man, this is, and he's one of those players that you will expect to do well in this kind of formation because he's the type of player attacking, he's up and down. But seems like I don't know whether he's tired or whether he's not using his brain properly or whether he's brain fatigue, whatever the case may be. What is just since it seems like he doesn't know what to do, basically, which is a bit weird for me. But hopefully, my main thing is that we need to score goals, and the strikers we have don't seem to know how to finish, which is very worrying because at least you should have one striker that you know, okay, whatever the worst case scenario, this guy, if you give him the ball in these areas, he's going to score when he gets a chance. When I see Hoyland of last season was better because when he gets his chance, he doesn't get the chance, but when he gets it, he does well. But now, man, it's like, where are the goals going to come from? Zexi is new. I don't even know where he fits. I want to give him time. You know, the how do you say it again? The optimism in me wants to give him, you know, a full season to see where he fits into the team. But he doesn't seem like somebody who fits. You know, Hoyland is not scoring, like I said. Rashford, we have Rashford conversation almost every stream or every time we talk about Man United. So I don't know. I don't know for him. He scored the goal, good goal, but then he is
a good finish. Good finish.
So in we need to address these issues. I think we need because the formation that he plays relies on the fullbacks being very attacking. They are always up and down. Like you need to be very athletic. You need to be somebody who's not afraid, like to take risks. So we need to identify two key fullbacks. Luke Shaw might be able to do some, but I think he's going to be playing left centre back mostly, if I'm not mistaken, or Martinez. But he can do a job for us right now if you want. We need a right wing back, basically. And we need a striker. So for me, my priority right now is we need a striker, somebody who is not somebody we are hoping to be better in the next few years, somebody who's good right now. Because if you want to implement this new change of formation and then also win games, because it's frustrating. It's a new rebuild, right? Basically. But then you're gonna offer not to score goals. At least the worst case is that you get the opportunity to score goals, and then you can win some, lose some. At least you're scoring. You're getting in that in those positions. But man, it's terrible. If I could exchange strikers, I will. We need some kind of like matured striker right now who does the business. Most of these teams in the Premier League have better strikers than us. How is that possible? We are playing Ipswich, and they the last in the table. Their striker gave us a tough time. Who is the guy? He looks like you can just take him and drop him into the Man U team. We'll probably be better off. Seriously, man. Like this is ridiculous. Like so I feel like we need. Obviously, the coach needs time to work with his players. He needs to identify which players are going to work in this team, which players are not going to work, and it's good for him to know that right now, so that he can start making those changes and start planning for the summer, where we can actually get the players that can work in his team. That is one thing he needs to get right. Don't hope that, if I play this guy, he's going to get better. No. Right now, you need to find out which players don't work, sell them, get them out of the team, and bring in new players. There's no time. So, yeah, but it's new, and I'm kind of excited in the way that we are going to play because some players are still coming back, like Lenioro is supposed to be back. Martinez is supposed to be back. Midfield also is another big issue because we saw Eriksen is not going to fit into this team. No legs. Casemiro too. I don't think so because you have, as a midfielder, you have to be very aggressive, and you see the midfielders sometimes they follow the other midfielders all the way to their other half, even all the way to their opposition box. So basically, they have to be energetic. I don't think Casemiro can do that. So we need to find some other player to another maybe identify. Bro, it's like you think that at least you're better off, and then you come and start again, and you find out your players are just not technically gifted. It's like because I'm sure as a new coach, let's be honest, Chama, like this new coach comes to Liverpool. At the worst case scenario, they will look they will look a bit uncomfortable, but at least technically they can like do what he asked them to do at the bare minimum, right? Technically, our players cannot do that.
Yeah, but I think you mentioned something very interesting. I feel you're talking about strikers. You need a new striker, or you need players who will complement what this coach is gonna bring, which is interesting for me because like there's another important thing you said about like these players are not gonna work for him, so maybe sell them and then
Most
bring in
most
another.
most most of
Most
them
of
are not
them,
going
most
to work
of
for
them.
him. No.
So that is where it comes to the upper side of the football. When it comes to somebody who's directing your football, somebody who is the sporting director or whatever it is,
Yeah.
you know, like for example, Liverpool when we signed Anna Slot, I can always go back to example. It was all about this is what we have, this is our identity, this is how we do our things. So who's gonna come in and then continue what we have been doing?
Mm.
And then they critically analyzed this situation, and then they came to a conclusion, which was not a popular conclusion, I would say, because honestly, not every Liverpool fan wanted him.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I knew him a little bit because of his time with Feyenoord, and Minte was there. It was easier for me to look at him. But if I did not have that opportunity to follow Feyenoord last season, maybe I would be in the same shoes as the other Liverpool fans. Like, why are we bringing this Dutch guy? And then he is not ready for the. But what they did was what they had, what they have been cooking, what they have been doing, and then they just find somebody who will slot in. Liverpool did not sign any. There is no
Yeah.
significant
No,
signing.
no, no new said.
The
Yeah.
same,
That is cool.
basically the
Yeah.
same players who were
Mm-hmm.
there last season. Because at the start of the season, people were Liverpool. They anywhere they touch, these players refuse them because of he wanted Zuma Mendy and then he refused.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the coach came in and then you look at how what he's doing with the
Mm-hmm.
team. So I think that
Mm-hmm.
there is that problem for Manchester United because, like, of course, right now Amorim is very new, but it can go wrong, right? It can go
Mm-hmm.
wrong. And then if you go and sign all the players for him and then bring him to build his team, and then next time you go and find another coach, let's say you go and find another coach who will come and implement a 4-4-2, a 4-4-3. So that continuity, I think that is where Manchester United need to focus more than making solution there, signings their solution. Because at United, it's always about science. You talk, your striker, what is his name?
Mm-hmm.
Hoyland. Hoyland is a 70 million striker. You cannot just bin him off. Like,
No, we're not
it's
bidding. That's the
difficult.
thing. That's the thing. We're not gonna.
Uh,
That's the thing. I think we made a mistake when we signed Hurlon. The idea
mhm,
was to sign somebody like Kane, who
uh-huh,
have one main striker, like a star striker right now, and then we have
mhm,
somebody who's gonna learn from him. That was the idea.
mhm.
But I think they couldn't afford that, or there were no funds, so they decided, okay, you know what, he's going to be our main guy. But he's learning. He barely even played for Atlanta when he was there. You cannot
Yeah,
make somebody who doesn't have experience in the Italian league your main striker. That was the
exactly. For
idea, because that
70
was
million,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not possible. We know that he has potential, but he has to learn from somebody. If he doesn't learn,
Hmm.
you can't, like, it's too much pressure on the kid, basically,
Hmm.
because you're asking him to do a job that somebody else who's more qualified than him is supposed to do. I think
Hmm.
I think you mentioned something good. What your guys did. You guys have world class players in most positions.
Hmm.
Maybe you guys decided, okay, you know what? Instead of changing the whole team and the way of style of play, let us utilize
Hmm.
what we have now and still
Hmm.
build upon it, which is a good idea to have. Us, we don't have that.
Hmm.
Like, we don't, like, if you look at the team right now, you would say it's set up for 4-3-3 or whatever, 4-4-2, whatever the case may be. But we can as well change it now, because it's not like we have world class players right now. We have potentials. The
Hmm.
only world class player I would say is probably Casemiro, and he is on the decline, basically. Depending on the type of
Bruno
formation
is world class.
you play. Well, yeah, in a way, he's world class because of his GE and all these things. But it's just one or two players.
Uh-huh.
So and Bruno can play in the 4-3-3. He can play as one of the tens.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what I'm saying
definitely.
is, like,
He
yeah. So what I'm
can play
saying
one
is,
or two
from now,
times.
maybe when we sign Haaland or something like that, like, it was in Ineos they haven't really, like, started operating yet. But the thing is, right
Mm,
now, this is the perfect time to change things around, to bring in
mm,
new coach, new formation, or whatever. We can do it now. But once we get past this, it's going to be very difficult. So we have to
yeah.
scrap everything there. But the problem is, we need to bring in. That's why I always like Chelsea. If you bring in technical players that know how to actually keep the ball, which is something that
Mm.
we have not been able to do. We never. I don't know why we never signed technical players before. It's not. Thinking now. Wow, this is very strange that Man U have technical players. So what have we been doing this whole time? Because you sign technical players, whatever formation that you bring in, most of the time they
They add
can't
up.
fit into that formation. They adopt, yeah, because they're confident in themselves, in their abilities. But anyways, we are spending too much time on me complaining about my team.
But let's talk about FPL. About in your observation from the game, because I didn't watch the whole game. I watched the first few minutes, and then I saw Mazraoui was playing as one of the center backs, and then
Yeah,
Dalot was
right,
playing as the
yeah.
left wing back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at the central defense too. I see Evans was the one playing at the left center back, and then the lead was playing at the right.
central, yeah.
Yeah, and then I also see when you guys trying to build up from the back, it's Delit who stepped in
Yeah,
as a
he
midfielder,
was.
and then you have the two like Mazraoui and Evans. They were the ones who were opening, and then Delit will move into the midfield and then add a number for Casemiro to make it two. So it seems the coach wants the technical player in the middle, the more technical central defender, which is Delit. That's why he wanted him in the middle, despite Evans being the old head there. So usually, if you play three at the back, you want the player who is more mature, older player, less legs to be in the central, so that he don't have to do a lot. He just have to dictate the game and stuff like that. That's what I like to do now when I play. So I know a little bit about that. But
Organized.
yeah, organized. Now from watching that game, like where do you see as an interesting prospect for FPL managers to look at?
It's tough because this is not his starting 11. That's funny. So it's difficult to say based on that. I'm sure one player is going to play Bruno, but it depends. He has two positions. He can play either as a 10 or he can play deeper in midfield like he did in the second half. If he plays deeper in the second half, it's possible for assist, but he's not closer to the box, which is what you want for FPL. So that's a risk right there. But if he plays as a 10, it's possible. But I feel like in the first half, he wasn't comfortable playing there as a right-sided 10. For some reason, I don't know. But in the second half, he was giving those passes like he was setting. If Garnacho had scored one of those goals, would have been a different story right now. Because he had chances. But you can see that he was pulling the strings from deeper. So yeah. I think Bruno, for one, depending on where he plays. Garnacho, I don't know if he's going to use him because but he was probably maybe happy with his performance. But he had a lot of chances. Garnacho had a lot of chances. So that's another one. But the striker, the way he plays, the striker gets a lot of opportunities. That's why I'm very disappointed in the quality of Højlund not finishing his chances, because he's going to get a lot of chances, even though he didn't start the game. Because that's the way they play. If you watch Sporting, like Gyökeres they give him almost basically all the chances for him to score.
Yeah, he's the focal point.
This is your team. Like, score as many as you, be selfish, whatever the case may be. So it's a different style of play from how we used to play before, where our wingers are always the ones that are always trying to cut in and score goals. It's going to be different. So they're going to have to change. Ahmad, if he's using the 10, also he's going to be a very good FPL asset. So those I see the same attackers basically: Ahmad, Højlund, and then Garnacho and Bruno. Rashford.
So you see that's
he has a place in his
he sticks his he keeps his place. Rashford.
I don't think so. No.
You think Højlund is gonna come in?
He needs intensity, because I don't think that he has that. I know.
Okay, if
Rashford doesn't have hold of play.
But do you think he's gonna take him off, or you think he's gonna drop him into the 10?
Rashford, can he even play the 10? He's not comfortable there. It doesn't seem to be. But we never know. Like I'm saying, it's just speculation. So I think in this game against Bodo Glimt that we have, I think on Thursday, we will know more about like which players he first. Bodo Glimt. some names, man. But yeah, that's what you get for playing in the Europa League. Ask Chelsea, they're playing teams like Servette and all this. I'm sorry if I butcher your names, man. Yeah, it's what it is, man. So yeah. So I think the attacking players we have are still the players that are going to be important for FPL. But like I said, we still don't know his preferred starting 11. So based on how much these players can adapt to what he tells them, his instructions, then we will see. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 games we know, okay, this is what he's trying to do. These are these players that are critical to what he's trying to do. At least for now, he's going to use what he has. He doesn't have a choice. So, yeah.
Yeah. We have a big game tomorrow to play too. Liverpool.
Yeah,
Real.
but I can't wait for that game. Honestly,
I hope we sink them even deeper into the what is it? Champions League group. group. I don't know how to call that group, but you know they are struggling because they lost a couple of games already
Yeah,
this
yeah.
season in the Champions League, and so if they lose against Liverpool, it's gonna be at Anfield. So I would fancy Liverpool
Ooh, yeah, you
to
guys are,
win
yeah.
to
It's
win
gonna
them.
be
So it's gonna be three
difficult, man.
losses for them,
Yeah.
and then that will put them really in a very tricky situation to qualify out of this Champions League group. Because now it's one league for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be top 8 to qualify automatically, or else you are in the next 16 teams to play playoff. So I just want to sing them even further because it's not they are not my
Adventure.
favorite club.
Okay, so moving on to game week 5. Is it what? 13 preview, basically. So let me just share my screen.
Yeah.
See what the preview. So Brighton play first, Southampton, Brentford, Leicester, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Ipswich, Wolves, Bournemouth, and then West Ham, Arsenal. Then the last day, Sunday, December 1st, here. Chelsea, Aston Villa, Man U, Everton, Spurs, Fulham, Liverpool, Man City. Man City, I think we should briefly talk about Man City, Tottenham beating them. I think everybody's talking about it. I think we also need to give our 2 cents. Were you
Yeah,
expecting that?
not at all, not at all. Like when I woke, because it was I don't even know when they were gonna play because that's how much I thought they were gonna butter sports, because I didn't even like usually I know the time and then I will check the results later because it's Manchester City, because at least they are the ones closest to Liverpool in the title race and stuff like that. So I will want to know when they are playing. I want to know when even if I don't watch it, I will monitor it. But that was not the case this time. I did not know they even played on Saturday. So like I woke up in the middle of my sleep. Then I was just looking at my fantasy team. Sometimes this happened to me. When I wake up, I have nothing to do. I'm on my phone checking how many points do I have in my fantasy team, and then I see Son with 6 points, and I see Solanke with 5 points. Where is this points coming from? Did they play Man City? Then I click quickly. I jump over to the Manchester City to the results page, and then I saw, oh, 4-0. No. I said maybe I'm dreaming. Wait, let me wake up. Before I wake up, when I wake up and I check this, I could not believe it. Absolutely not. And then I saw a Pedro Porro with his 14 point. I go, yeah,
Yeah, I was like,
it was absolutely
I think that
mental.
was the first
Yeah,
thing I thought about. I was like, I'm sure Chamba didn't play him. I wish, because obviously it makes sense. Why would you play Pedro Porro? Especially when I saw that their defense, 2 defenders were already out. I was like, man, this is going to be
exactly.
a thumping, But yeah, Man City, it's 5 games on a trot they've lost. I've never seen this
Yes,
before, especially on the
it's
Pep.
crazy. It's
I've never
crazy.
seen this before, so I don't even know how to act. I was like, "Wow, this is this is amazing." And then they have Liverpool at Anfield again, so it's possible 6 games now. But also
Yeah,
they
but
have
actually, at least
they
they
also
have
have another
Feyenoord.
game.
They have Feyenoord
Yeah,
in
they
between.
have fired at this, so at least that might give them a bit of
But
stability.
you never know with the form they are on, and football is a very very funny sport.
It's a
It's
mental
a
game.
very very funny sport. To be honest, I don't know if you can remember when Liverpool started losing. There was this time after Van Dijk got that injury, and then we were talking about 78 games or 68 games without losing at home or stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, Liverpool started losing 6 games in a row, every single game, home, away, nothing. You are losing every. You cannot explain anything. You cannot understand anything. It's so
It's
painful,
confidence. It's a
especially
confidence based. Yeah, everything is confidence.
yeah, especially when it comes
Oh
to the
man.
big coaches, suffering that type of suffering. It's sad to see, but
hmm
it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm sure they're gonna find their feet again, and Haaland missing chances for fun, right?
Man. It's not like he's not getting. That's the thing. You would think that he's not getting the chances. That's why maybe Man City I guess poor. He's getting the chances. He's
And they
just
miss it.
putting it away. Like I don't understand it. I
It's
mean,
crazy.
the XG, like I was like 3.1.
Yeah,
Is this
he
real?
stopped. He stopped. He stopped. Let me
Now that
see.
I've told him now, you just see that you start scoring all those goals.
No, he's gone on every team now. Haaland, I don't think he'll be left on any team right now. He'll be
Mm.
left. I don't think so. Look, you see, in the last 5 games,
We'll see.
like
Yeah.
in the last 5 games, he has an XG of more than any player in the league. In the last five, that
It's
is
ridiculous.
around 5.69 XG, and then he could only score one goal or something.
I think I was
Oh,
watching. Was it? I forgot. FPL wire. One of the guys. I forgot. He shared the point swing between if you sold Haaland a few weeks ago and getting Salah like 70 something points, if I'm not mistaken, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So in that time, you could have gone up like in the rank like crazy just because you decided to stick with Haaland. In my case, that's which I did. I stuck with
Mm-hmm.
him for far too long for four more games and then gotten Salah. I would have probably been in a different position. But that's the game. That's FPL.
That's
Going
the
back to the
game.
fixtures. Yeah. Which games do you think obviously we are going to target as FPL managers right now?
Well, Brentford is something that I would definitely target because
Leicester.
I they are really good when they play at home.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a quite interesting for me. Brighton, of course, Brighton too is gonna be interesting. With Jao Pedro, the form he's in Welbeck, the attacking router, I cannot even see my boy getting into this team now. He needs to work really hard. But the good thing is the December busy fixture, so he will
So
find
he will play. You
he,
will find yeah. We
he
get
will
some
play
minutes.
some minutes, and that's what I was chatting with some Gambian fans today. If he gets the minutes, he needs to take them with both hands because he has something on his tank. Because the last game he played for Brighton, he was the star player in the game against Tottenham when he instigated that comeback from the when he scored his first goal. So hopefully he will get some minutes soon. And then he should grab it because the attacking players at Brighton, to be honest, it's even difficult to think how
So
you're
many
gonna take
players,
one
and they
out.
sign like
So
all
many play.
attackers. Like it's crazy.
It's crazy.
No,
I think they have a very very good squad, very very big good squad, and unfortunately they are not playing in Europe. But this team
so
they have
they don't have a
is
lot of
definitely
competition or
they should
boost
have been
their
competing
players.
in Europe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely. So those two fixtures are fixtures that I'm looking forward to. Definitely, I know the Chelsea fixture is there, Liverpool, Man City. With the way Man City are struggling with everybody, and with the way Salah is playing, everybody will be talking about Salah. But for me, those two fixtures, Brighton, Brentford, are the two fixtures that I'm really looking at. United is not bad, but we
It's
don't know
not
what to
bad,
expect
but we
from
don't know.
United.
That's the thing. Like it's too
Yeah, we
early
don't know.
with this new
It's
coach
not.
to know exactly what's going to happen. That's the issue right now. That's the
Yeah.
issue.
How about you? Did
I
you?
think I think you're right. I think the Brighton Leicester fixture is a good one. Nottingham Forest, Ipswich, but obviously not many people have Nottingham Forest
Yeah, 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 yeah,
players.
yeah.
That's a good fixture right there.
Wood.
Nottingham
If you
Forest
have Wood,
playing at home. But last I watched
mhm,
the it was this guy Awoni that
that
started the game.
started. Yeah,
So
yeah.
Wood was benched. So that's going to be interesting because he's
Maybe
been
it
on a
was
good
because of the
form.
international break, because he has been, away on the international
Traveling.
break,
Yeah.
traveling to Australia or wherever it is, New
Mm.
Zealand, very far,
Mm.
and then coming back. Maybe that's why.
West Ham, Arsenal. West Ham just beat Newcastle at home. That's the last
Yeah,
fixture of this week. So that's I
crazy,
did not see that
crazy.
coming at all.
Me neither.
My boy
I
was
was expect.
Bisaka scoring. Like, ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was expecting Isaac to punish us, especially
Man,
for us. That yeah, but nothing
this
happened.
season
Yeah,
is just a weird season. It's like a unknown season. Anybody can get it any day.
definitely.
Yeah. So okay. Let's go to our teams. Maybe you can.
Spurs Fulham we did not mention. It's not a bad fixture too. But
It's not about but
Spurs, Spurs
Fulham
is that Spurs, right?
is
They will
Spursy.
beat Manchester City.
This is the reason why we cannot hype them too much, because yes, we all know that
Look at what
whenever
they
they
did last
beat,
week.
yeah, they beat a big team, but then they come to the small team, you expect them to beat them mercilessly,
They,
then they lose, and you're
they
wondering
butter exactly.
what's going what's going on.
They butter. What is it? Aston Villa. Aston Villa 4-1. Ipswich came to the Emirates, the Sports Stadium, and they beat them.
Well,
Then
yes,
you go to Manchester City, and then you beat
beat them
Manchester
four
City
at home.
mercilessly
It
four.
doesn't make any
Like
sense. There's no
it
logic to
doesn't.
it. There's nothing.
That team, man. That team, man.
You can't explain it. So yeah.
Mhm.
Um.
I have three players from their team, so I will start all
Oh
of them,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah. I
And
think
then
I think
there's a possibility I was even thinking of captaining Son, but I'm just, I don't know.
you're not sure basically because
I'm
you don't
not
know
sure. I'm
what
not
you're gonna
sure.
get. You
But
don't know
he's
what
an
you're gonna
option,
get.
to be honest. He's an option. Yeah, he's an option for the captaincy this week.
Yeah. So
It's a
let me
wild
just
card.
quickly share you see my team is significantly different. I played all my three transfers early, ASAP, as soon as the game, Liverpool game
Yeah,
finished.
we are not so different in that regard.
Oh
Then.
yes, I was like, you know what? Yeah. Let me go. So three transfers. Palmer is in from Bomo. Salah is in. Who did I even take out from
Oh,
there?
did you get that? Did you get rid of Momo when he about to play Leicester?
Oh
You
yeah,
will
yeah.
regret that one.
I saw it's
You,
fine, but I had to make the transfer because of pricing and things. I was like, you know what, somebody has to go.
no.
You
But
know,
but but I think this week Palmer I think this week Momo is a better pick than Palmer, despite Palmer having the bigger name.
yeah, you might be right though. You might be right, but yeah, I was like,
That's
you know
why I
what,
tell you sometimes
let me just do these things. The small
sometimes it's
thing.
about the timing. It's about the timing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you miss
Thinking about
that.
it, I think you're thinking about it. I think you might have been right. I was like, this is too good. Let me because I've been toying with it. I had all these drafts. I was like, man, but I think I should have waited one more week and then But I don't want to.
Definitely.
I don't want to change my mind. I know the way I am. I would have probably maybe Momo goes and scored like 15 points and then Momo stays. But if you look at the fixtures, it's not the best fixtures to be honest.
No, definitely. After this fixture, I am even
Yeah,
considering selling him. But this fixture, I cannot really sell him
that's
for this
true. That's
particular
true.
fixture. Yeah.
Definitely. So, Salah, I mean, Haaland is finally out. Joao Pedro, who I
Hmm.
was, because he was the key to me getting Palmer and Salah at the same time, because I couldn't.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, which striker am I going to change? Because Isak, I wanted to get, but he's expensive. Even
Hmm.
Solanke was the one, but obviously Spurs fixture is not the best right now. So I already had Cunha and Jackson, so I needed a third striker, and then it just happens to be right timing for Brighton because their fixtures are really, really good right now, coming into the
Hmm.
good fixtures. So right timing and then the perfect price. There's no way you can miss that. I was like, okay, let me just get this guy in. It just happens that he just come off a very good game week anyway. So yeah, he comes in. So
Yeah.
my team as it stands is Flecken, Vandenberg, who I might Vardiol. Right now, I'm not confident in this in this Man City defense. I'm tempted to start him because he's expensive, but man, like it's a big. Past few game weeks, he's been giving me like 1 or 2 points, basically, not a lot of points, honestly. So yeah, Vandenberg, Gabriel, Ait Nouri. Midfield, I have Saka, Rogers, Palmer, Salah. This is a very interesting midfield. I'm happy with this midfield if it continues because not having Haaland allows me to really stack up on this midfield. Apart from Rogers, who
Hmm.
I can probably change, but his price point is just too good for a starting player at 5 point something. Like I'll have to discuss it. Semenyo after this yellow card, like he's gonna have a really good run of games, so I'll probably be switching between the two. Arsenal have a good run of games. Um, Chelsea have a good run of games. Salah is just there because man, he just keeps fighting my rank. Like he can score in any game, basically. Even though fixtures are not the best coming next few games, but yeah, just have Salah in there. I'm gonna captain him most of the time anyway. So up front, I have Cunha, Jackson, and then Joao Pedro, who's been
Cunha
good
has
for
been a good pick for you.
oh yes, but you mean at the right time. So I'm enjoying those points. If I
Yeah.
wish I would have probably been captain him instead of Haaland. I would have probably been much farther up my rank than I am now. Anyway, so yeah. Um, Thoughts about my team apart from apart from me jumping the gun for what do you call it again, Momo.
No, I get the what's it? Jao Pedro, Salah pick, and even Palmer. But yeah, it's just that sometimes it's just that 1 week wait, and then you
Mm.
do it the subsequent week, and then find a way because eventually you're gonna have another extra transfer next week. Because
Yeah.
did you take a hit for it, right?
No, three. That's it.
You had three free transfer. So if you saved one transfer and used two,
I
then you
have two.
still
Yeah,
have two next week, and then you can
definitely.
still get rid of maybe a Guardiol, and then you can still get a power for maybe a Rogers or somebody else,
Mhm.
and if you, or even Buemo can go by that time, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I think he
yeah,
would have definitely should have stayed one more week before even
one
Palmer
more week,
comes in.
yeah,
Yeah.
because Leicester defensively they are not good. They even sacked their coach. We didn't even talk about
Oh
that. They
yeah,
sacked
yeah,
their
yeah, yeah,
coach,
yeah, yeah. I thought about yeah.
you know. Yeah,
New manager
so
bounce.
defensively,
I think we're the only
hopefully.
team in the league that don't get new manager bounce. Man U.
Yeah. But yeah, if you look at Bournemouth's record, like I tell you, at home, it's
Home,
been
all of
insane.
it.
Against Crystal Palace this season, 9 points. Southampton, 14
Okay,
points.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, you can open it there. You can see it, right? Against West Ham at home, 9 points. Against Wolves, 8 points.
So
Against
all of them
Ipswich home, 15
points.
points.
Wow.
Against
Okay.
Bournemouth, his lowest point
Yeah, I
at
think I'm gonna
home is
miss out.
5.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss out on these points this time around. Honestly.
Yeah. So the only away goal he has this season was against Tottenham. That is the only time he scored or assisted away from home. Everything away from home is blank except against Tottenham. Yeah.
Yeah, well, let me. It's a chance that I took. It's my mistake, so there's no point
Yeah.
reversing it again. That would
Yeah,
be nice.
definitely.
Imagine if you had the option to reverse transfers.
Yeah, definitely,
That's
definitely.
that would be nice, man. That would be really nice. Reverse transfers. But yeah, share your team.
That's
Okay, there
that's
you go.
my team there. I have Sanchez in goal. He has, since he gave me that penalty save, I think in his first or second game, 15 point that he has not really done much for me. Chelsea are not keeping clean sheets. But yeah, they play at home to Villa, so he's the only option I have in goal. So I'm not even gonna um bother too much about that. In defense, Pedro Porro comes back in. This time he played for Fulham at home, and this is the time he will disappoint you. This post boys definitely. You have Vandenberg. He starts. Ayat Nouri. I brought him in. I made two transfers. I had two free transfers, so I brought in Ayat Nouri and Zao Pedro for Raul Jimenez and Manchester City's Rico Lewis. Because yeah, City, I am not just feeling them.
Yeah, man.
Even
Their
though Lewis
defense
at
is
his price, yeah, is good, but Man City, they cannot be relied on at this moment in time. So
Mhm.
let me just make that move. So yeah, and then in midfield I have Salah, I have Power, I have Son. I wanted to do that Son to Saka move last week. But of course, I decided to do just one of the moves that was Palmer.
Mm.
So this week I cannot sell Son because the reason actually I kept Son was because he had the better fixture subsequently this week because he
Mhm.
played Fulham at home. I know Fulham are not a easy
Yeah, not an
game,
easy.
but at
Yeah, easy team.
but at home you should fancy Spurs, right?
Hmm.
Fulham just lost 4-1 against Bournemouth at home, right? Against Wolves at home. So yes, they have started the season well, but they are not a let's say a
Nottingham
Tottenham and
Forest
Arsenal,
this season. Yeah.
yeah, a Nottingham Forest or something like that, So you should fancy Spurs for that, but again, it's Spurs. So up top, I have Solanke, Welbeck, and Zhao Pedro. And on the bench, of course, I have those. My boy is on the bench, Minte. I don't think he will start, so that's why I bench him. I will not sell him, but of course, I can bench him. The good thing I like about my team this week is everybody is playing at home. The starting 11,
That's
which
good.
as
That's very
as
important.
as a
Yeah.
fan believer of home fixtures, I like. But again, the worst game weeks I have is usually when I have a team of home players.
Because
So
you expect so much from them, and then they
from them
sometimes
and
don't
then they
deliver.
disappoint. Yeah, but let's see how it goes.
I mean,
And
it's a
captaincy,
yeah. Oh, you're captaining Melmo.
yeah,
Wow.
I'm in Burma or Son, definitely. I like they have the fixture, so I think it's an opportunity, and they have proven to be good players at home, especially in Burma. So I have captained Burma twice this season, and every single time he did not disappoint. So I trust him for my captaincy when he plays at home. If the other like the big hitters are not having a better fixture, I will always back him, and that's the case this week. So I'm quite comfortable with that. Son is also a very strong option, to be honest. He's a strong candidate. He plays Fulham. Even the
Palmer too
Brighton,
might be. Yeah. There's a lot of
yeah, Power
captaincy
Power
options this week.
Power is not bad because but he play Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa is a little bit tricky for Chelsea right now this
Mm,
season. I think they are kind of on par, so it's gonna be a tight
mm.
game. So even though Chelsea have the home advantage, which will help them, but I don't think Chelsea are so far away from Aston Villa in terms of where they are as a club this season. So that's why I'm reluctant on the Palmer one. That's why I was even reluctant on the Salah when the Aston Villa he played right a couple of weeks ago. I was quite reluctant to captain him that week. So I did not captain Salah against Aston Villa at home. I went to for somebody else, and Salah, he punished me, of course, but I kind of trust Aston Villa. But they are not that team they were last season too, defensively and all those things. So maybe it's not a bad pick to captain Palmer, but there are options this week. There are options for captaincy. Where are you going? Who are you captaining?
Salah.
You're on
Because
Salah.
we
He has
know we know
traumatized you.
yeah, but we know that Man City is terrible right now.
Uh-huh.
And we know Man City, Liverpool, Salah always scores, even when they were like
Yeah,
like on par
definitely.
or always like the better team. Still, Salah always
Yeah,
comes out and like tries to show out in these games. So I
yeah,
think it goes without saying, basically. And yeah, at Anfield is
definitely.
always different. So I think
Yeah.
Salah for me is number one. Palmer too, possibly, but not as confident as captaining Palmer as I am in captaining Salah, to be honest. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. I think we've covered everything in this pod. Still on that 1 hour, of course, but we move.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So of course, thank you guys as always for supporting the pod. Please like, subscribe, and visit the Kotu Classic homepage, the Jollof Football Bantaba, and check out all your Gambian football content in there as well. It's gonna be a few busy weeks because games are coming in thick and fast right now. So we're gonna try as much as possible to get you all the content that you can in this festive period. So there you go. Thank you guys. We catch you guys on the next one. Bye.
Goodbye, guys. Well,